What's up, you guys? It's Greg. Today we got another reaction video. Let's watch Retiring Early on $870K in Arizona, Millennial Money. I love retiring early stories. I think they're really cool to watch. So let's go ahead and dive into this, take a look at their finances, and just see how they are doing.
I'm Steve, and I'm 39.
And I'm Courtney, and I'm 36.
Okay.
And we retired in our mid-30s with $870,000.
And
That is early. Retiring at mid-30s, that is early. That is really early. I'm glad to see this. I hope that somehow this trend keeps going on, this FIRE, financially independent, retired early, and a trend like this where you cut expenses, save as much as possible, catches on, and we're getting more people retiring earlier and earlier because, let's be honest, time is the most valuable thing.
live a little bit outside of Tucson, Arizona.
I don't know a ton about the Arizona real estate market. I know that right now it's booming, but everything else is booming right now. In terms of cost of living, I'd like to see what their cost of living is. Like, is it affordable? Like, you could never do this in New York. Like, this is just, it's just unreasonable with taxes and food and you know, and everything. So it's cool. Hopefully they found a place that is affordable to live.
What's nice is that our day-to-day lives both have structure, but they don't have to. Because we don't have full-time jobs, we can choose to do things on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or whenever.
Early retirement for me isn't about just
nice.
not working. It's about freedom. The freedom to design your day, to do whatever you want during the day. So for me,
Did anyone else, right up here, right above, or kind of right in between their two heads, did anyone else's grandparents have a clock just like this, right in here? One of those clocks with like the fake like porcelain pine cone thing that swings.
that means getting up around 6 a.m. Maybe I work out for a couple of hours. I mess around on the computer for a while, do email, social media, that kind of thing. We go out and take walks.
Okay, I'm obviously not retired, but it's 6 o'clock. You're retired. Just take a break. It's too early. It's just too early.
With the dogs at about 10 a.m., the freedom is a complete life-changing event. My wife, Courtney, has always been way more of a saver than I was. Before we got married, I had the house in the suburbs. I had a supercharged Corvette convertible. I had a brand new Cadillac CTS. I had a Yamaha R1 sport bike. I had all the toys. I spent a lot of money.
I see the draw to buying all these toys. I had a CBR 1000 and a 370Z and kind of all the typical fast toys that you get. So I see the draw. It's definitely attractive to young men with money. Now, don't have any of those things, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. $235,000 they were making. Their opportunity to save was so great. These guys they did a good job. They're doing a good job right now. They were able to save a ton of money, able to retire. That was the biggest thing, is they were making a ton of money instead of having such a high income.
Between $800,000 and $900,000, as long as we kept our lifestyle pretty minimal and did some big changes, like moved into our Airstream, and were able to keep our monthly expenses down to a minimum. It also included more normal things like cutting our restaurant budget way down. I think at one point we're down to, at max, $50 a month combined for anything outside of the house. We tracked all of our groceries.
Okay, even that's high. Right now, we're not big go out to eat people, but we didn't even spend $50 a month going out to eat. And that's, I know Warren Buffett's always said the $5 coffee isn't going to be the issue. You need to figure out how to make more money. But at the end of the day, going out to eat and coffee and discretionary spending, or not frivolous spending, is a big drain on your finances. So cutting that stuff out is definitely necessary. So I'm glad to see that they did that. If you're saying they're down to $50, I wonder how much they were really spending.
We got rid of all of our subscriptions that we weren't actually using.
we decided that we wanted early retirement more than we wanted some of the nicer things in life that other people might want to spend money on. So for us, the trade-off was worth it.
So we maxed.
That's a nice view. They got a little bit of space, so I don't know what it looks like from the other side. It's kind of cool. They've got their little seating area in the middle of the driveway. It's interesting, maybe it pushes the bugs away. I don't know, it looks pretty dry. It's the desert. There's probably not that many bugs. Maybe it keeps the snakes away. I don't know.
People might want to spend money on. So for us, the trade-off was worth it.
So we maxed out both of our retirement accounts. We also saved more money than that. So at one point we were saving 70%.
These people, I wonder if they don't have dining room furniture, because this house has got to be pretty small because they're filming in their kitchen fireplace area. This has got to be like kind of just like an open concept thing going on here. But if you look, they're sitting in their computer chairs. So they probably don't even have dining room furniture, which is funny, and that's totally fine if it's just the two of them. They don't need to have dining room furniture, and obviously they have decided to not spend as little money as possible. I just think that's funny.
Of our combined income, so all of my income and some of Steve's, and that was going into our 401ks and Roth IRAs, but also into a brokerage account and a savings account.
So right there, that's like 150 grand a year just in savings. Like, that's huge.
As a married couple, we have a combined checking account as well as savings account. We keep everything together. That makes it simple for us. So we talk about every single purchase. We agree on everything that we spend money on, and it's very easy.
So at their budget, at $750 a month, they're eating some good food. Oh, includes alcohol. Insurance $651. That's probably reasonable. Their policy probably isn't even that good, honestly. Business at $333, which includes Creative Cloud, Google Domains, and UPS box. Let's see, I'll move me. So you can see that down at the bottom there. Dining out at $250, so they're starting to spend a little bit more. I mean, right there, they have $1,000 a month in expenses just from food for two people. My entire family eats in New York for like $250, $300 a month. So they are really buying a lot of really good, either organic, grass-fed, or just like bougie food. Like they're spending a lot on avocados, which that's fine. They're retired, they have plenty of money. But this is a lot of money. $750 for groceries and $250 for dining out. That's a lot of money. Property tax is $144. Oh my gosh, that's so great. On our rental property, we pay like almost $500 in taxes a month. This actually, we lived in North Carolina before we moved back to New York. And our property taxes were, I think, like $80 a month. That was pretty cool. So apparently it is affordable to live in Arizona there. Subscriptions at $130. They probably live out in the middle of nowhere. They probably have Hulu and Netflix and stuff like that. Discretionary $115. That's reasonable. It's just the two of them. I mean, my budget right now, my fund budget's at $15 a month. So, but granted, I'm not retired, so gas at 72. I feel like that's reasonable. That's actually pretty low, man. I think I spent $90 to fill up the truck a couple of days ago, so that's pretty good for a month. And then a phone at 55. What do they got? A home phone? Gosh, probably have some home phone stuck on the wall like it's 1990, pretending they're old people. Gosh.
Usually Courtney is the one who is managing the day-to-day, and I use that term loosely because there's just not that much to manage. We have a grand total of $0 in debt.
Yes.
See, but you have to have $0 in debt to be able to retire like that, unless you have debt in like rental properties or a business that's going to make you money in passive income. And that's something that I think that I would have really liked to see in their portfolio, was like starting to buy like duplexes and fourplexes and having some properties that are able to all not only appreciate in value, but also pay them cash flow every month. So that way they're not limited to their $870,000 and basically the growth of the stock market. Because, if the stock market crashes and let's say it's, March 2020 and it loses a quarter of its value, half its value, like their portfolio is going to go down. Like eventually it'll go back up. But keep in mind, this money's got to last in the next 30, 40 years. So I would have liked to see some type of rental property, passive income, something like that going on, just to kind of hedge against them, having to come out of retirement to make more money.
So that includes our groceries, our restaurants, and also one of the most important things in our day, happy hour.
Our happy hours. Yeah. We enjoy those. We will go to a grocery store about 45 minutes away once every week and a half or so for a normal shop. We also get veggies from our community farm through a CSA program, a community sponsored.
They live in the Wild West or something? God, it's
agricultural
like something you
program,
see
so
out of a
that's once
movie.
week. And then we'll do our big
Doesn't
bulk
that grocery
buys
store
at like Costco in Tucson.
didn't that grocery store look like, let's go back and look at it. All right, so we're going back and looking at this grocery store. Doesn't this look like a saloon? Like it should have the doors that, I don't know, like the saloon doors you just, when you kick in, when you walk in. Apparently when you live out in the Wild West, this is what your grocery stores look like. It's pretty cool. I wish my grocery store looked like this. My grocery store's in Aldi, it's not nearly as cool.
And then we'll do our big bulk buys at like Costco in Tucson.
Ooh, those look good. These cookie sandwich things, those look good.
And then for dental, we live very close to the Mexican border, and cleanings across the border in Mexico tend to be about $25.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I mean, I don't know, I've never been to Mexico for any type of healthcare, but it seems like a reasonable way to save money. Because I mean, how wrong could a cleaning go, I guess?
Day to day, we don't actually spend that much time on our general finances, but maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day, a total of about an hour a week, will be spent looking at everything and making sure everything is still going the way we want it to, and we're not going to run out of money in any of our accounts. So we take a look at what our net worth is currently, and 4% of that or less is kind of our budget for the year. So if we're having a good year and we're making money, we can be a little bit more flexible with our lifestyle. And then if we're in a down market, we will really cut back.
That's tough. See, that's tough. Is that you're, without having that passive income, you were limited to basically the whims of the market. Like in 2020, they were probably really feeling it, as they actively had to cut back on their spending, not because they lost their job, but because the market was down, so they couldn't take out nearly as much. So that's one big issue I have with that, just because you're at the whims of the stock market. I would like to hedge my bets a little bit more and kind of get some other sources of passive income, that you can have while you're retired. They're still financially savvy and they're still financially well off. So they're doing a good job. That's just my own personal opinion.
When it comes to when we actually sell our investments and take money out, is we only do it in an up market if we can help it, which is why we have that savings account there. And we'll sell stock to get money in an up market if, one, we need to replenish our savings, or two, we have a big purchase that we're planning to make in the near future.
I see why they have $60,000 to $80,000 in their savings account, because they're trying to only sell in an up market, but there's, I don't know. This is exactly what I was saying. Here, it's their net worth dropped by almost $200,000 in April 2020 due to the pandemic. That means that they're able to take out less. Like they were probably really feeling it, as opposed to, having some rental properties or having some additional income, either royalties from a patent or something like that, having a little bit of money coming in. They were basically like, oh shoot, what do I do? Because the market went down, so I can't take out as much money.
We were in a little mini but sharp recession. And my friends and some of my family were begging me to sell to get out of the market because everything is going to crash. But for us, we did not do that. We did not sell a single share of stock.
He's got those diamond hands.
Downturn. And since then, we have recovered about 150%. So that's $250,000, $300,000 since April of last year. So we are now in a better position than we were before, precisely because we did not try to time the market.
That's the thing, is that's something that it's hard to learn about trading, is that you just have to rip all the emotion out of it. It's based on technicals. Like when other people are selling and freaking out, you really need to be buying. When other people are buying because things are going good, like you've already missed your opportunity to make all your money. Like that's how the money's made.
It was my first representation of freedom after work. We got to live in here and travel the country for a living. That was awesome.
We would be traveling sometimes multiple days a week, and did an entire trip from our home state of Arizona all the way out east to New York, up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and all the way back down. Working the little jobs we do or whatever from the road, we could really be wherever we wanted to be.
That's nice to have that freedom when you're young.
We call our house the off-grid recession-proof house for just that reason. Almost no expenses. We can live here nearly as cheaply as we need to. We have no power running to the house. We have solar only. So that was a prepayment essentially, but we have no monthly payments there. We don't have to pay for water because we use water catchment. We don't have to pay for sewer because we have
They probably don't get a lot of water out in Arizona.
septic on site. And that was really attractive to us as we were trying to settle down from full-time Airstream, so full-time mobile life. Where do we go? How do we keep our expenses down so we can stay early retired? And choosing a very minimal lifestyle in a house with almost no expenses.
That's really nice.
That was a
really
very
nice.
attractive proposition for us.
God, it's so nice.
Despite the salary of a full-time job, I really don't miss much about that lifestyle. For me, early retirement is
Why would you miss any of it?
To handle the pressure of saving a lot to retire early, you have to be okay with making some sacrifices, but yet your life can't feel like a sacrifice.
If you think about it as what you're gaining, like if you have that vision of the future, we used to take a walk every night with our dogs in Tucson and discuss like where we were at and how things were going and
That's
what
really
we could see
powerful.
our future being like, and traveling in the Airstream. And having that like end goal and talking about it and keeping it in mind really made it so that it didn't actually feel like we were sacrificing.
That's the thing, that after a while, these lifestyle changes end up just becoming that lifestyle changes. You don't notice anything's different than when you were doing before. But anyways, thanks so much for watching this reaction. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much to that couple for sharing their journey and their retirement journey, and also CNBC for putting out these videos on Millennial Money. I love watching them. I love reacting to them. Hopefully you guys do too. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button. Also, if you want to hit that subscribe button, that way you get notified every time I post a video. That'd be really cool. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.